And now, we welcome you back to everyone's favorite biannual soap opera, Hope Springs Eternal. When you were last with us, our hero, witless and unafraid, attempted to pressure up the oiling system on the 48 Chevy. Unbeknownst to him, he left a gaping hole in the pressurized system that lent new meaning to the term lubricity. Reeling from this turn of events, beaten and self-punishing, he turned to his only source of just atonement, his wife's foot. She was only too willing to oblige. Let us look in on him now and see what fate has in store for our hapless hero this 26th week. Hope springs eternal.
Okay, well, I got the precious plug in. Nice and permatexed up there, so that's good to go. And by the way, just so you're aware, this is what I'm running in here. Just add that zinc in there for the cam. That is Rislone. So, I'm going to spin this up now. Yeah, she's pulling good. There's a little bleeder under this tube, so that'll be dripping. And should get oil welling up out of the weep holes on the rocker arm. We're looking good. And nothing coming out of the plug. Okay, so now you can hold on for 2 weeks while I put this all back in. Okay, hard part's done. Engine's in. Went ahead and threw the starter on while it was out, because that's that much easier to put on there. So I'm going to finish putting the mounting bolts in, and then we're going to start in on the ignition system. I'm going to save all the rest for later. That way I can get this video going. And if you want to see the whole process of this from the beginning, just go back and catch up from the first video. So, there we go. Okay, let's talk about engine timing. Now, I recently did a whole video on the 292 project where I went through crank and cam timing, and you can just go back and watch that if you're interested in that. These old Stovebolts don't have the timing marks up front here, okay? They are back here. There is a peephole on the bell housing, and I put that starter on, and now it's hard to see. But let's see here. Turn you sideways. There it is. And stamped on the flywheel is a U and a line and a C. Okay? I'm going to line that needle up with the line between UC. Okay? And then when we're timing it with a timing light, there's a steel ball bearing pressed into that flywheel. And that is what we will aim for when we turn our distributor and time this thing. But for now, the line on UC. Number 1, top dead center compression stroke. Okay, before we drop this in, you can see I've got that oil pump shaft at about a 10 and 4 position, I would say. So that's where you need that. And I also did a video on this distributor, rebuilding it completely. But just to recap on points, make sure you got your points set. It's easiest to do it now. And you want 18 thousandths gap. I'm not going to find the 18, but right there, the arm pushing against the top of the lobe. So when it's at its highest point, you want 18 between there. I'm going to put this in there with the 2 clamps parallel to the block. Your vacuum advance canister should be roughly in line with that. And this clamp, if you've taken all this off, this should be roughly 1/2 inch below the cast. Okay, this doesn't have a set flange like a small block or like a Chevy V8 would. This is all kind of loosey-goosey. I mean, you have to set it where it's supposed to be. So, and our rotor, I'm going to put slightly clockwise of the clamp. And I will set you up so you can see this going in. May have to play with that pump shaft more. I think I got it though. Yep, I sure did. So this is now pointing to where our number 1 is going to be on our distributor cap. We'll run this bolt down in the octane selector, as they call it in the book. Get this attached. Won't bother tightening it down. Okay, so this is in line with what is going to be our number 1 terminal. We'll just snap these shut. Now this tab they call the octane selector, and when you start out, you just put it at 0, which is actually in the center. You've got A and R advance retarded, and you've got 10 and 10, and the center line up with the punch mark, the line cast into the block there. So I bought this kit again from Chevs of the 40s, where I get so much other stuff, and it comes with your 7 boots for the distributor cap, plus 1 bigger one for the coil, and then your little contact points, the crimp-on contacts, that will go in to the distributor cap. And this is kind of just a make-it-yourself deal. I'm going to go see if I have some, well, I have some silicone spray right here, if it's any good. We'll try that. But these are too long, so I will be cutting them down a little. So that will go right about there. And that's the nice thing about this kit, you can just trim them down. Ooh. That spray is worthless almost. Slide our boot on, and then our crimp. And it's got a spike in the very center, and then 2 to hold on the sides. Just aim for your wire in the center. Crimp it down. Snapping it into the distributor cap will hold that crimp on. So that's our 1. Let me go get some, what do I want? Dielectric grease. Because an ounce of prevention is worth something. I don't remember what. Okay, one more thing I need. They sell these thick old rubber O-rings. And that holds each side together. Get this. So 153624. So 2 is coming from there. I know 6 is going to have to be the next longer. 4 is going to be the shortest. And after that, with this set, it probably doesn't matter too much. We've got plenty of wire to work with. So I'm going from there to there. Yeah, I've got lots of wire, so we'll just work with the shortest one. Last thing we need to worry about are the leads going to and from the coil. Get the ignition source wire from the key to the positive side, and the negative goes to the distributor. Okay, well, the wires that came in the kit, they're an awfully stiff wire, and it's cold and they've been in a package for a long time, so this side looks how it's supposed to, but once these warm up and mellow out, I think it'll look a little better. Well, there you have it, the ins and outs of a Chevy Stovebolt 6 ignition system. Very simple. You can do it too. Man, what is next? I have to get everything back on to where I was to begin with. Won't take too long, got the hard part done. And then, really, I think it's firing it up for the first time. We'll adjust timing, we'll adjust carburetor, and final adjustment on brakes. I can't forget to do that. And then I think we're ready to take it for a drive. That's going to be great. Stick with me.
Hope springs eternal.